This is very important news for anybody that is holding XRP or that is involved in the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. As in this video, I'm giving you guys two very important updates on what's going on right now with Ripple and with XRP. Now again guys, if you're holding this crypto, make sure you press the like button on this video as it is greatly appreciated. And all I can say for now is let us dive right into subject number one. But again, keep in mind there's a second very important piece of news that has come out that I'll share a little bit later in the video. First of all, for right now, this is extremely good for the Ripple v SEC lawsuit, as it basically shows the SEC is now getting even less support than we had originally imagined. Take a look at this. James Fillon posted on Twitter, SEC versus Ripple, list of amicus briefs fought by the November 18th deadline. And the list here is the Chamber of Digital Commerce, iRemit, TabJets, ICANN, Spend the Bits, Coinbase, Blockchain Association, Paradigm, John Deeden and the guys, Verify DAO or VeriDAO, Repo Financial, CCI, Cryptillion, NSIE, and Velo Capital. There's two of them that didn't make it out, Creditify and William M. Cunningham. Now, why is that so good? Why is that so exciting? Why are people so happy with this? Well, take a look at what's written above by Jeremy Hogan. Creditify failed to file its amicus brief on behalf of the SEC by the deadline last night. So that leaves the final tally at 14 of these parties that are independent but helping the court basically support Ripple, and one party that's joining the lawsuit and basically helping the SEC. For you Americans, Ripple scored 2 touchdowns and the SEC got a 1-point safety. You have to understand, what we basically got just now is a smack in the face for the SEC, I guess. And the reason I'm saying that in such an excited way is because we are obviously all concerned with the Ripple versus SEC lawsuit. Okay. Is the most important factor for the XRP price. And the fact that we just got a slam dunk by the fact that the SEC only had 2 supporters, of which one of them doesn't even show up, that is amazing news. Now, is this all of a sudden going to win them the lawsuit? No, but you guys can understand, it's unprecedented to have this many amicus briefs in the first place, and for it to then be 14 versus 1, that is something I have not read in my little bit of legal research, I guess, that I've done. So the community obviously was very excited because of all of this. Now, before we move on into the second most important part of the news, I guess, for today, there's actually something pretty interesting. Apparently, Sam Bankman-Fried's lawyer, Paul Wise, has dropped him as a client, and Jeremy Hogan had to say that 99% chance that Sam Bankman-Fried's lawyer dropped him because the first thing the lawyer advised him was do not talk to anyone. And the first thing he did was talk to someone, probably someone in the press on a recorded line. Obviously, we in the community of the, I guess, XRP community are quite excited to see what's going to happen on the Department of Justice. I've been following BitBoy closely as well to see what he's been tweeting to Kevin O'Leary, what he's been sending to Kevin O'Leary about every single piece, but he's basically been going on quite rampantly, he's going on like a freaking machine right here. Just for a second, look at how many tweets he pops up every single hour. This is literally all these tweets we've just seen is all over the last hour, and that is maniac type behavior, but I respect it. So even though most of the stuff is not relevant for me whatsoever, I think this one is pretty important. I hope you really understand this FTX story is not going away for years. Let me out the next few years for you. 2022, FTX collapse, market fallout, contagion spreads, and Sam Bankman-Fried arrested. Now, the next year and the year after, 2023 to 2024, House hearings on FTX, Ukrainian the whole, let's just say that situation with Ukraine and politics, money laundering, and Democrat/SBF collusion. And then 2025, SBF sentenced, which again is not the, I'd say, most likely order of events, but it's some way that it could go. And the reason that people are so interested in all that is because, well, we want, and I've tweeted it out multiple times as well, we want Sam Bankman-Fried to get a proper investigation quite quickly, but he's not really getting that. And right now, people are focusing on the whole, okay, what did Kevin O'Leary do wrong? How were things going on there? How were things going on there? But they're not really looking at, okay, Was this really fraud? Question mark. Was it because of regulators that he got this far, like for example Gary Gensler? And should Gary Gensler be held accountable because he had such close ties with them? Even though Gary Gensler seems to say we should investigate the, CFTC, because obviously it is a crypto exchange and not a quote-unquote security piece. But there's some discussions about that ongoing, as supposedly they also had, these securities on their platform, but it's just a really strange ethical question, I'd say. Should everybody that had close connections to them also be investigated further? I'd say if those guys had such important functions like Gary Gensler, I think so. Here, for example, is one more piece by Ben Armstrong saying, according to my math, if Elizabeth Holmes, very well-known fraudster, just got 11 years for fraud for a $700 million scam, Bankman-Fried should do approximately 785 years in prison. Now, again, he's going on about a couple of different things, like how Kevin O'Leary might have been bribed in some strange way, or that he paid to get positive coverage in the New York Times. And I can't find it right now, but he also has one piece on where he basically says they literally were frauding and they knew it, basically, that it was not a maybe, and then he'll basically go down defending that. There was actually not I don't want to say malicious intent, but that it was not just some classical mistake. No, it was actual fraud. Again, I've been scrolling through for a little bit and I thought I saved it, but I didn't. And guys, he tweets like a madman, so I wanna still finish this video today, so yeah. Now, whatever, guys, but we'll just move on to the next piece. Again, everything is connected to FTX, and I think we'll surely spend some additional time later today talking about everything. I can literally sit here and talk about it for hours and hours and hours. There's so much going on, so much trouble, so much, problems in the wake of it all, but let's just cover the most important piece for Ripple. And again, guys, make sure you press that like button and let's cover this. Ripple is apparently looking to buy FTX Group's assets. That is by far the biggest news for Ripple/XRP fans in a very long while. Ripple has stated before publicly that they are looking to acquire companies in this sort of status. And right now, they're looking into it, and that is very freaking juicy. San Francisco headquartered company Ripple is interested in purchasing the assets of the failed crypto exchange FTX. Again, they had 134 companies that went bankrupt. This was the group, obviously, that has a lot of assets, so we don't know exactly what they want to buy. But apparently, in a recent interview with CNBC International, the Ripple CEO suggested that the FTX exchange was a fraudulent scheme, and Garlinghouse also stressed that the cryptocurrency space industry had to mature. Now, in August, Ripple also said that it was interested in buying the assets of failed cryptocurrency lender Celsius, as obviously Ripple is massively, I'd say, expanding, like, for example, with a new license in Ireland right now. To be a little bit more specific, however, the firm, or basically Ripple, said they would pick over the carcass of FTX and would be interested in buying the parts that served business customers. As well as its stakes in other companies, there are about 100 companies affiliated with FTX. And Garlinghouse said FTX's disgraced founder and former chief executive, SBF, called him on Wednesday before it went bust as he sought to round up investors to rescue his business. He described his mood as chipper despite the dire situation. And in my thoughts, this all might actually relate back to what Jeremy Hogan said right here. 99% chance that Sam Bankman-Fried's lawyer dropped him because the first thing that he went to do, even though they were already in a lot of trouble, is talk to a lot of people about investments and potentially go over some interviews that, well, the lawyer did not like. Again, it could be 1,000 different things, though. It could also be that the resolvement or whatever that Sam Bankman-Fried was looking for, which would be full clearance of everything, was not something that Mr. Wise was willing to go for. You guys understand, right? He is, as far as we know, a very privileged individual. It could be that he really just thinks, hey, I made a genuine little mistake. Let me get off scotch-free, pay a couple people back, and we're good. Whereas the lawyers are thinking, well, you probably deserve a good bit of jail time, and, well, we can't make it a lot better than it is, so you're going to go to jail for at least a little bit, and you're going to have it on your head that you were a fraudster. And he's like, well, I don't want to. I don't want to be a fraudster. I don't want to go to jail. Fix it. And they're like, well, we can't represent scum like you, maybe. Nah, a lot of lawyers, they don't have ethics like that. But maybe Paul Wise, maybe the guys at Wise did not think that he deserved to be represented, but who knows? I should also add, again, I am not sure if these are the same people because, well, I only took about, 3 minutes of research or whatever. But as far as I know, Paul Wise also represents Ripple's co-founder Chris Larsen. This is another article from a little while ago. Ripple co-founder and chair Chris Larsen is also defendant in the Ripple versus SEC case. His lawyer, Martin Flumenbaum of Paul Wise, Rifkind, Warden, and Garrison said that blah, 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 blah. But basically, it showcased that they have some guys from Paul Wise, the law firm. But I'm guessing that is just a very popular San Francisco-based law firm, and just, grab them because they're top-notch and they cost a lot of freaking money. A little step back, it could also be that Sam Bankman-Fried went over to Twitter to state all the numbers, and maybe the law firm did not like that. I did not know. I'm just reporting whatever I found. But guys, that was it for today's little quickly Ripple XRP update. Just covered whatever I found over the last couple of hours. It was interesting though. It was very interesting. And that was it for right now. See you guys later in another crypto video.